Okay, hey guys, it is July 25th, 2026. We are meeting for our veteran database think tank. It's going to be a short meeting today. Just wanted to give an update on what is going on. I am Marie Slider Henriksen. I am a recovery and veteran advocate, host of a veteran podcast, and I wanted to get this database think tank going. It's going to be an interactive map that will be accessible to veterans and service members so that they know what resources are available once they get out of the military. It's going to have the VBA, the Veteran Benefits information. It's going to have the VHA, the Veteran Health organizations and information. And then it will have civilian organizations, nonprofits and for-profits that are just available for veterans along with the VSOs. It's going to have a link for like podcasts and a couple other online resources and whatnot. But that's kind of the general idea if you're just joining to take a listen and figure out what we have going on. We've got Kevin Odom here from the One Moment podcast. He is a veteran and a mental health specialist and is involved with a lot of different organizations that are supporting veterans. And we've got Chris Conway. His mom and his uncle are both in the military, or veteran. Uncle veteran and mom military, correct?
And father veteran.
And father veteran,
Yeah.
yes. And he is actually our IT guy that is doing all of this wonderfulness. And so we're going to have him kind of talk about the requirements documents that will be attached to this video for you guys to check out. And if you want to take a look at it, if you have any questions or comments, go and put them in there. And so, Chris, I'll have you kind of talk about that requirements document and talk about where you are with the database. And then Kevin and I will ask any questions that we might have.
Sounds good. So actually, the easiest way to probably do this, is this video recording as well?
Yes.
Okay, so if I share my screen, that would make this pretty easy.
Yep.
See if I can split this. There we go. Okay.
Ooh, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so here we have what I've been calling this is the Veterans Resource Finder. It's just some basic information about when meetings are, sprint lengths and things like that. Followed up by the project vision, which Marie did a great job of explaining the overarching concept and requirements behind that. I did want to add that we have a bit here talking about accessibility, making sure that any users with disabilities will also be able to access it, as well as making the app accessible from a mobile platform. And then getting into success metrics. This is a rather long document, so I'm just going to kind of hit the high points. First up, these are pretty simple. The homepage loads and the certain aspects of it are consistent and operate functionally without too many errors or issues happening in the background that kind of stack up. This one as well, in the event of a catastrophic failure, if we need to roll back or load from a backup, we have that as an option. Also some automated testing that I skipped over, some specific KPIs that are things that specific points that we're trying to hit, or specific what's the word I'm looking for? Measurable things that we're trying to hit. Let's see. A list of risk factors, which we've talked about in previous meetings and have been kind of consolidated here. And our requirements, listing out every requirement that we've talked about before. And if we keep going down, we'll get to the important one, separate milestones. So let me actually do this real quick. So I've broken down each of those requirements and some of the risks that have come up into milestones. Each milestone is 1 to 2 months long. I think for one specific milestone, it's about 3 months, and has an estimated end date and demo of these monthly meetings. So the first milestone covers the interactive resource map, the filtering, and using test or generated data to validate all of that UI functionality. Now, the second milestone is where things get more interesting, because from the second milestone, we add the ability for certain users who henceforth are called admins, who have access to the app or have access to the background of the app and have the ability to update, edit, or update, create, and delete resources from the system as necessary. And then we get, so this is where we currently are. As far as like progress where I am currently, I just need the authentication and to fix a little bug that came up with the CRUD interface. But once those are done, then this milestone will be marked as complete. And then we start working into milestone 3. And in milestone 3 is where we take a step back from the physical map-based resources and go into the digital media. These are podcasts, YouTube channels, and other digital access points for these resources.
Awesome.
And then setting up all the same systems that we have for the physical, for the digital options. Any questions so far? Because now we get into some of the more background things that are that occur. For example, in milestone 4 is data integrity and link validation.
So that will be stuff that's after we get all of these links and stuff online.
Yes, at this point, at the end of milestone 3, we have what I would call the minimum viable product. Everything is there. Everything is functional. There is no automation on it yet.
Okay. So
and that's where we get into milestone 4, is where we start developing some of the automation.
okay. So with the where you're at currently, so I know that we're going to be putting in. I don't know how far we've actually discussed about what is going to be included on here. One of the things, before I forget, I wanted to make sure I would like to have a link that connects to the state veteran departments. I don't know how we would do that, because I know that you were going to put in like BSOs or different offices, and I just want to make sure that we have that included, because the different state organizations like the Utah Department of Veteran and Military Affairs, they have access to a lot of the resources, and I think that it would be good to have them included with our in the map as well.
I think I have it in Drive. Ignore my stuff, it's very messy.
You're good.
I don't see it in there, so I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where it is at the moment. I do have a file that has what was given to me by Barbara as a, stuff resources that she has access to that we plan to add to this.
Okay.
And I've been using that to test the CSV bulk import system, which is working really well.
So right now you're mostly focused on all of the database that she has access to get this stuff on, and then we'll add in other things later on.
Yes. And I bring up what she has access to because in the data that she has access to, there are websites are there as well. So part of the physical resources can include a website link. So the resources that you were just talking about, are those physical places or strictly digital? Like we're
Both.
linking them to, okay, so if they're both, then we can put it in the map and link it, have a link available for users to be able to access those websites and direct them. You know, if you need this particular resource, you click this link and it'll take you to where to their website where they can handle things on their end.
Okay, perfect. Now, can you just explain who Barbara is, your mom, and
Yes.
what the resources is that she has?
uh, I can explain it very slightly because even it's a little over my head. My mom, Barbara Conway, is a family assistance specialist working with the Army National Guard, and she deals a lot with soldiers who are having a hard time getting financial assistance or having a hard time health-wise, and she helps connect them to these resources. But it's if she were here, she could correct me. I'm not exactly sure. As far as I'm aware, she mostly deals with active duty soldiers. So she is helping provide some of these resources to our system so that even retired and veteran soldiers will be able to access it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and then so she's got a lot of this stuff that does active, and I'm sure some of that is also veteran as well. And so this, I think, is where once you get this stuff set up, getting involved with the state departments will be good for more of the veteran resources as well. So that'll be good.
Yes. And actually, while we're on the topic of getting this data in, I found a third-party API that I am currently using to input these street addresses to get back the latitude and longitude so that it will render in the map. There is a stipulation in this resource that the address that you're sending them has to be in the United States. Is that an assumption that we can make about these resources?
Yes, but at some point, maybe we can have a link to some that may be federal. I mean, maybe international, but we don't need to focus on that right now.
Okay, because once we get into international addresses and such, then it gets a little bit more complicated and
Well, I think
hosting
with that,
becomes a little bit more expensive.
no, I think what will happen with that is we'll say, hey, if you're interested, here is some international things, and kind of like how we're going to have a link for all the podcasts, we'll just have a link
Okay.
for their websites. So we won't add them into.
Okay, then that's fine. The resource is strictly for things rendering on the map, on the interactive map. So if we're going to add that as digital media, then it won't affect what we're doing with that third-party API.
Yeah, and then before I forget, just we have talked about this before, and I just wanted to put it out there on the video. This database is going to be, as of now, the potential idea is that this database will be hosted by Barbara's nonprofit organization that she already has established. And so it will be hosted through them. They'll be able to do any help with any funding that might need to continue this thing going on, and also just the maintenance of it once we get it all set up. And yeah. So, anyways, Kevin, do you have any questions so far or thoughts before he continues on with this document?
Hey, I'm sitting here listening so far. I mean, I like it. I like that. If we have to integrate any type of AI system, I have a paid version for shit, Super Grok or some shit like that that we can use too. So I don't use the API system on it. I don't have it connected to anything. The only thing I do is use it for content creation and website building. So I don't have it integrated as far as like connectors or API, none of that. So if we need anything additional for it for this project.
So it's one that you're already paying for and that we could utilize with this?
Yeah, I mean, if Grok is able to be used, I mean, I've got pretty heavy. I mean, I've got one of the. So you have basic, and then you have Grok, you have Super Grok, and then you have heavy Grok or something like that. Like it's for like people who are basically enterprise people, right? Like I mean, but you're going to pay like 300 a month for it. I spend 40 a month for Super Grok. So I mean, it's pretty heavy use. Uh,
I'll talk about. There is a section in here talking about AI, and I was going to talk about it whenever it comes up. But since
no,
you
that's
brought it
fine.
up, yeah,
I was just
since
throwing
you
out
brought
there.
it up, I spoke with a contact of mine who builds AIs and is specifically working a lot on large language models right now. But he takes existing models and then builds his own agentic AI into it. I was picking his brain about this, and he actually, after hearing what we're trying to do, suggested rather than going the AI route, just use a common web scraper. So that may be another option for that route. He also said that if we do decide to go the AI route, that he might be interested in helping as someone who does a lot of building of AI systems.
So I mean, I am not in disagreement with the web scraper. The issue I think we're going to run into potentially, and this again just a potential barrier for the web scraper is uh, the um, the privacy of some of these websites.
Yes, that is right.
They block the bot from scraping. Okay, now I have on some of my websites the internal web scraper that scrapes content and then puts it at the top. Like I have that set up on some of my internal pages. Uh, so I mean, but it's mine. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no
Yeah,
issue with
no,
it
you're
scraping.
absolutely right. That shifts the concern from the agentic AI like Grok, or if we were to build our own off of an existing model, that shifts the concern from that model hallucinating or making mistakes in the content to now we have to worry about privacy of websites. That is absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's just something to be aware of. Like, so I mean, I'm game for however you want to build it out. I'm game for that. And if you need to use the API, I can figure out how to get you the API through mine since I already paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, there is of course a limit. Hell, we all know that. But I mean, I'm game for it. I primarily use it to like I say, to build content and to build web pages, and so um, yeah.
So for people like me who may be listening, what the heck is API? I don't know what that is.
So my interpretation is API is basically your key that you can use to integrate it into your own projects that you are using. That is basically what my interpretation of API. Right? You have
Yeah,
an API key.
API stands for Application Programming Interface, and
Thank you.
it's a way for different bits of software to communicate with each other.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Layman's terms.
Yeah, and look, I was trying to stay as layman as possible. Yeah. So if I want to use Grok in any of my projects, I use the API key and basically I implement Grok into a database that I'm using or a project that I'm using. And it literally, I mean, it's freaking cool. I don't do that because none of my stuff is does that. Now, I can on one of the projects I've halted. I need to do something like that, but tomatoes, potatoes. I got time. I'm in no rush.
I think that's all the questions that I have at the moment. If you want to continue,
Then I will
just kind of
continue.
about this, and then next time we'll do another update on everything.
Okay, so next is milestone 4, which talks about link validation. So this is a way to, once we have digital media and the physical media or physical resources that have websites, just a scheduled check to go and mark whether the websites are still valid or not. And any of them that are not valid, we can hide until an administrator can go in and revalidate that those websites exist. This also includes duplication detection. So this is all kind of the same thing, just a monthly or semi-monthly type of system that goes and validates all of our data to make sure we're not duplicating anything, that all of the links still work, that the address is still active or not active, that the address is still accurate, and then also some analytics. When you're building an app like this, it's always really important to track who's using it, where they're coming from, where they're going in the app, what they're looking for. And being able to see all of that will then show us, what resources, as an example, this can show us what resources veterans are looking for the most. And then we can use that to then, we can do all kinds of stuff with that type of information.
So with this, are you going to be including, and I know we kind of discussed it, but I can't remember. For anybody watching, I've got memory and cognition issues, so it takes me a little while. But are you also going to be incorporating a space for people to be able to like send us information on a resource they want to have included, or something where it's like self-regulated, where people can go on there and add their resource or whatnot?
That is sort of talked about up above. I kind of glossed over a lot of stuff, so it's excuse me. There is a background system where if you know what you're looking for, I will be able to provide access where almost anyone can make an account and then go and add a resource, but that's if they know that the link is there. I keep it kind of hidden for,
A reason.
Yeah, for reasons. We have talked about before, and I believe I have it in here, once we add the automation that we were talking about previously with AI, where when the AI finds a resource and adds it to the system, that an email is sent to
Yes.
whatever address that resource is connected to, if whatever it has access to, really, and it provides them a link where they can come back and validate, like, yes, all the information here is correct, and they can share it with the website, and that allows the website to then show it to any users that come to the site.
I think that is perfect. And then also, before I forget, we've also discussed, and I know it's later on, but at some point we are going to also be incorporating a like rating system on the website where users can actually go and say, hey, this is a beneficial resource or this is not, because we can't physically vet every single resource, and also, just like some places have better information than others. So we'll actually have it so that people can go in and say, hey, this is a very beneficial resource, this one not so much. And then at some point we can reevaluate. If somebody's getting like a whole lot of really negative reviews, we can go back and review what we need to do with that.
Yes, here it is, milestone 6.
Awesome.
So that talks about the automated AI ingestion like we were talking about. I did design this around the idea that we would be using AI, but there is still the option to do the web scraper.
Yeah.
Excuse me, which would just replace the AI portion of this. It's up to, it's really up to the think tank to once both are brought to the table, which one to go with. The workflow is the same. It's just how we code it is different. And then the human in the loop validation is like the email thing that I was just talking about.
I was just going to say, we have this being recorded, and so Fathom, I want you to make a note that if somebody has an opinion on AI versus web scraper, for them to contact us and let them know what their thoughts are with it, so that we can get a good discussion going with that. So Fathom, make a note of that. I know I kind of like went ahead with everything, so you can continue.
Okay. I'll just scroll back up to milestone 5, where we're talking about accessibility, security, and disaster recovery. So this is, once again, we want to make sure that any veteran or user with disabilities can still use the app. So this is making sure that that the interface is 100% keyboard navigation, full screen reader capabilities, and matches the what do I have written here? WCAG 2.1 level AA standards, which is just a way of saying that all of the tools that are used by people with disabilities can use this app.
So I just want to point out, okay, for just everybody watching, Chris has developed this whole thing on his own. Like all of this stuff he has put together, and all the different requirements and decide, kind of like looking into what is accessibility and this, that, and the other. And I just want to say thank you, Chris, for your dedication in doing this, because this was a lot of work for you to come up with, hey, what is this and what is this and this. So just want to say, a golf clap to you. Thank you so much for putting all of this together, because this is incredible. Like, even looking up what the requirements are for accessibility, like, I think that is beautiful. So thank you.
I appreciate that. It is my full-time job making websites like this. I've been doing it for I think a little over 10 years now. Have a lot of practice to writing these types of documents.
Awesome.
Excuse me. Okay, so I've gone over the accessibility. Secure multi-factor authentication. This is the gold standard now. So any of our administrators who go in and are the humans who go in and validate these things, we should be using multi-factor authentication. And cloud infrastructure and disaster recovery. Once again, talking about the in the event that something crashes, in the event that we lose a chunk of data or something becomes corrupted, we have multiple backups that we can pull from at any given time, and downtime is minimized because of that. Any questions about the validation and accessibility, authentication, things like that? I'm gonna keep going then.
Yep.
Oh, did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. I've already touched on milestone 6. This is the automatically pulling resources to add to the site, marking those resources as unvalidated but until we can get someone from these resources to then, or not unvalidated, I have it written here as unverified until someone from these resources can come and verify that the information that is being provided is correct, at which point the resource is marked as verified, and we can trust that the information there can be shown to veterans.
I love that. I think that is a very great idea, to actually like have that on there, unverified, verified. That's really good.
And for the last milestone I have on here is just one last round of deployment procedures, testing, and validation. So this is a very small milestone if I continue hosting things or if we keep the website in Amazon Web Services where it is currently being hosted for testing. In the event that we move it to some other system, this becomes significantly larger because a lot of the code being developed is specifically designed for Amazon Web Services. They come with a lot of built-in tools and stuff to use, which is why I like to use them when I'm developing sites. But in the event that we're moving to a different service, we need information about where it's being deployed. The backend structure will have to change because the Amazon Web Services system is not compatible. This isn't none of this is like none of this adds like months to the project or is really that big of a deal. The code still works. We just have to revise the framework. The database structure may need to be changed as it is currently being written in a GraphQL database, and the authenticator is specific to AWS. So getting a new authenticator and using it and setting up its multi-factor authentication are just extra steps onto that. And that leaves us with the timeline. So I have here estimated start dates, end dates, demo dates, and then this is a living document. So as things change, or if for example, we've mentioned several times now the difference between AI or just web scraping. So if we decide to go with the web scraping route, then that will be updated here. And at the very top of the page, I have a version number where we will keep track of what version we're on.
Perfect. And then this is a tentative date of release will be in May next year, but that could change.
Tentative
stuff like that.
Excuse me again. Add another month to that. I believe estimated go live date being June. Is that June?
Okay. Yeah. And I like that you have it that it can be updated and changed and stuff like that.
Yes, this is a living document. In the event that requirements change, or if we decide on a new feature or something that needs to be added. For example, actually, I don't think I have it written in here for these resource owners to come in and add their resource to the website themselves. So that's something that we can talk about. We can go and add, and then that would increment the the version number because this is a living document.
Yeah. So I just had a thought, and I'm only going to do it if you guys clear it. But my thought process is I might just post this video on social media so that I can like kind of like you do, posting a podcast, right? And so other people can take a look at it. And if are you guys okay if I do that?
I'd be fine with that.
Kevin, are you okay with that?
It's not part of a podcast, so I'm good.
Okay, so my thought process is as this is on, will be available for other people to listen. If you are listening to this and you have some ideas of anything that we may be able to add into this, or any ideas, if you have a similar program like this and you've got ideas on how things will work, or on how things work for you, or if you have any other suggestions that you would like to add on, or if you want to be a part of this think tank, please contact me, Marie at sliderbabe.com. So MARIE at SLIDERBABE.com. contact me and give us your input. And then again, like Chris was saying, this is a living document. So, we'll kind of make changes based on the information that we have and based on, the conversation, because we want this to be a conversation. We have quite a few organizations that have showed interest in wanting to be a part of this. And if you are one of those organizations and you have ideas of what you want to incorporate, please contact us and let us know. So I just appreciate, Chris, that you're open to discussion. Appreciate you guys being here and being able to do this.
Of course.
So is there anything that you need? So this is the basic overview of what you are doing, Chris. What kind of support do you need right now? Or is this just something that you just need time to continue working on what you're doing?
At the moment, it's just a matter of time. Once the database is finalized and all the UI elements are put into place, then we need to be talking with some of these resource owners about what is the easiest way that we can reach out to them and get them involved in this project. Okay. And that's what comes up after the UI and all of the integral parts of the system are in place.
Well, so far, I think this looks fantastic. I think you're doing a crap ton of work. I'm grateful that you were willing to be a part of this. For those who may be interested, again, Chris said this is something that he does on a regular basis. Can you tell us what your company is and how people can get a hold of you if they're interested in also getting something like this for their own business?
Absolutely. So I own Wicked Whippet LLC. It is a company that I run with my wife. I make websites, excuse me, and I offer hosting services and maintenance for those websites. My wife makes video games, so we have a lot of fun with that. You can contact me if you're interested in getting your own website at chriswc14@gmail.com. That's CHRISWC14@gmail.
Okay. Kevin, did you have anything else to ask or include in this yourself? I think I'm done with questions myself. So. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good too.
Okay, so we'll do a follow-up in a month. So if you're listening, we're going to be doing every fourth Saturday at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And so we'll be doing this, every month for the next year, just kind of following through and checking in and talking about updates. Again, thank you, Chris and Kevin, for being here. Kevin, if you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about you, and what you're doing and how people can contact you as well.
So I am a licensed therapist, times 3 state licenses and or certifications in North Carolina. I do a lot of work in the community. Right now I'm volunteering for a halfway house, currently employed at a hospital, work on an inpatient behavioral health unit. Do a lot of content creation myself, so I'm kind of busy with quite a few things. Several. I have my hands in multiple different pots, and it's all about trying to, be of service to all people. So that's a little about me on the short end of the stick here.
And then he also hosts the One Moment podcast where he interviews just anybody talking about their story and how they're finding joy in their moments.
Bingo.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys doing this. For anybody who is interested in contacting me, I do recovery and veteran advocacy. I connect people and resources. It's one of the reasons why I had the idea to do this is there's just a lot of veterans that have told me that they didn't know what resources are available, and we're trying to combat that. We're trying to fight it. We want people to be able to know the resources that are out there. If you need support for yourself, or if you have an organization that you would like included, or just want to let me know about it, so that I can put it in my repertoire of my advocacy work, please let me know. I also host the Veteran and First Responder podcast. If you want to take a listen, you can contact me or check out the podcast, sliderbabe.com, SLIDERBABE. Chris, Kevin, thank you again for being here. Is there any last things that we would like to say, Chris, based on the, your own experience or what you are doing for this think tank?
No, my whole family is full of veterans. It wasn't a path that was right for me, but I really love being able to do this type of stuff. And I really love being able to volunteer in these types of ways.
Awesome. Well, it's appreciated. Again, guys, thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you guys next month.
See you in a month.